Good afternoon, everybody joining us on Radomania for another matchup in the first round of the Swiss for the Zelda 1 Randomizer Tournament. I am Trenton, joined today by August. How you doing today, August?
Pretty good. How you doing, Trenton?
I am doing well. I mean, anytime you get to see one of the top runners go, you're probably in for a show, and Chessjerk comes in here ranked S8th in the SRL, which goes to show you it's somebody who's playing and winning a lot, and went 5-0 in the last tournament's Swiss rounds. So a very stout opponent for Kadogo to draw in this first round.
Yep. If you're familiar with the community at all and you're up on Twitch, you can see Chessjerk streaming Zelda 1 randomizers pretty frequently. So yep, he's definitely not a stranger to me. Although I gotta admit, I've never heard of Kadogo before, so I'm looking forward to seeing how he routes things, how he navigates around Hyrule today.
You haven't had a chance to catch Kadogo before. He's been practicing within the last week. I do believe this is his first SRL race, so a little bit different atmosphere. But you still just fundamentally have to go out and play your game, and we've seen a bunch of the rookies put up good showings so
Yep.
far.
It's the very exciting thing about all these randomizers, doesn't matter how much practice you got going in, anything can happen because items can be just anywhere, and sometimes you just get lucky. Find the items you need.
Not the safest start screen you could have, but pretty close to vanilla.
Yep, not too far. It's a nice central location, so they got a couple different routing options, depending on how well they screen scroll. Up here in the vanilla wood sword cave.
Level 3, I think, looking for the wood sword early. He didn't find it, so he's checking all these ones right around the core start area, seeing if that wood sword is there, or something else that would be equally useful.
Yep, that medium secret of 39 rupees is a pretty nice find early on. He's definitely going through all his open caves, because that's where the wood sword can be.
That is a very not nice large secret, only 59 rupees.
Yep. There's 3 of them out there, so we don't know exactly how much money they're going to be needing to seed. They are both kind of going along the same route down on the southwest.
Yeah, they're going for a lot of these near start locations where you've got the open caves. They're eligible to have the wood sword. The wood sword cannot require either a candle or bomb to access, so that's why they're checking these open locations. We've also got this possible Armos location that Chessjerk's investigating.
Definitely want to find these free items, the Armos item, the white sword item. If you find those early, they can be a big advantage depending on what they are. Just a cave. Can you get into that cave with all these moblins shooting around?
Hard to do that on half a heart. You just don't have a lot of room for error.
Yep, and there's that error. Let's see if he makes his way back up there, or if he chooses a different line. So we got Kadogo going up here over by Vanilla 1, dodging those blue Lionels.
It's a good place to target kind of your next real cluster of the open caves that are wood sword eligible is up in the northeast. If this is part of that route, then it's a very efficient route for trying to find it. I love it, the paranoia over the little tunnelers coming up from the ground. Chessjerk gets our first weapon. It's the blue candle.
Always a good thing to find early.
Any weapon feels good. Kadogo can buy it, and does. A very savvy play there. Also, because he purchased it, that means he's going to be able to take all the hearts from the bonus caves.
Yeah, I'm always a big fan of that option. Can find a nice cheap blue candle somewhere, I'll definitely buy that. I like having full hearts if I can.
Oh, Head shop here by the Dead Woods, but it won't do you any good yet until you get the book.
Ah, yes, that's a new flag that's introduced here. But luckily it's not too far away from start. Deploy those up A strats.
Speaking of the flags, we should also point out one of the changes in this tournament so far is that only 5 Triforces are required to get in level 9, but Ganon is always required. So you must find the bow, you must find the silver arrows, and a sword, like Chessjerk just did.
However, those important items, such as the bow, may be in level 9.
Boy, that is one of the trolliest locations that the sword cave can be in. I don't even like coming down in this direction unless I've got bombs already.
Yep,
But he's rewarded with level 1.
Double dip this corner. Alright, first dungeon up. Coming in off the east side there.
Vanilla shapes. Vanilla first quest shapes, I should specify. But you can start anywhere in the dungeon. Along the outside, I believe, is the current rule set.
Yep.
However, no keys limits your exploration a bit.
Yeah, and again, it's not too far away from the start screen, so it won't be too difficult to get back there.
Chessjerk has his 4th heart, as he finds the first bonus cave he's able to take one from. Do you know there's a white sword item in the world? We don't know what it is or where it is as of yet.
We got Kadogo over in the woods. He finds a meat shop, keys at 76 rupees. Not a terrible price.
It's always going to be tempting to pick up the bait when you see it.
Take any's. Oh, that's
especially
pretty nice
the cheaper
one.
it is.
Monocle Rock up all the way onto Death Mountain to the graveyard. Chessjerk's gonna check this Armos item.
It is the wood boomerang.
Look at that.
Chess says,
Lord
I don't
Banana.
need that.
Oh, I guess he does have a sword.
Does he go back for it?
Not a terrible item to grab early on.
Okay, he is going to snag it. TGE will be pleased.
I believe he is referred to now as the Plantain Prince these days. We got the Armos in the Lost Woods, just another medium secret.
Kind of just interesting to see how the routing works out. Chess has picked up 2 levels so far, 1 and 5 he's located. Kadogo hasn't necessarily seen a lot of that same luck, and he's still not able to find the sword because it was in the opposite direction. He also isn't going to find the Armos item because we've seen that in the other direction. And everything he's done has made sense so far, it just hasn't really worked out. I am going to have to take a call here for just a moment. I apologize. I will be right back.
Not a problem. Oh, we got Chessjerk taking a death in level 5. Kadogo is once again over by the start screen, looking for that wood sword. Oh, there's a Triforce, but it is ladder blocked. Chessjerk find a workaround. Got Kadogo over on Candle Row. Couple more bushes over to the right there. Chessjerk's taking down these moblins. Or, no, not moblins, gorillas. Staircase guarded by a bunch of Bull's Voice. Get the clip that he does. Oh, silver arrows in level 5. Look at that.
What a pickup that is. Usually the item that trolls you the most. This is only 8 minutes in.
Yep.
And that's just the routing working out very well for Chessjerk, and having the sword lets you make more progress in usually. But even right away, taking that blue candle so he'd have a weapon gave him a lot of confidence in being able to explore. A lot of runners will actually feel comfortable going for a while without that sword, but you gotta have a weapon to kill things at some point.
Yeah, yep. Unless you're Panzer Dave, you're gonna pick up that sword as soon as you see it. I don't think Kadogo found any levels over on that east side in the woods area or on Candle Row or anything like that.
That's amazing. It suggests we're very loaded over on the west side. We haven't seen every bomb location on Death Mountain, but it could be really stacked.
Chessjerk making good use of those bombs that he's got. There's tons of pulse voice in this level 4 here.
That unrepeating damage of the blue candle, it's just really stinks when stuff takes 2 hits and you've only got 1.
Oh. Another death for Chessjerk there.
Kadogo taking a little bit of a patient path through there, trying to make sure he's clear. I think this is his 3rd attempt trying to get to the northeast, so maybe a little paranoid now, but a little bit of caution can pay off.
Yep, it's definitely a lot to take in. There's enemies firing from all sorts of different directions, and they're blocking the way you want to get to.
Yeah, when they swarm you, it can just be absolutely brutal.
Sometimes perseverance pays off. Then again, it's always got to be in the back of your mind whether it's gonna troll you or if it's gonna turn out to be worth it.
Kadogo looks to be trying for the northeast again. I can kind of understand not wanting to leave anything behind, but also sometimes you just have to explore a different direction.
Yep, come back when you got more hearts or better weapons. That's the difference here is all of Kadogo's deaths are on the overworld. Meanwhile, Chessjerk's, he's dying just, about the same amount, but his deaths are in the dungeons where, it's not as detrimental in the race setting.
There's a big difference between going back to the start of the dungeon and going back to the start screen. And that is the recorder in level 4.
2 items in level 4. Or no, sorry. It was level 5 that we found the silver arrows in. Two dungeons down.
Well, still has to get the Triforce. He didn't get the Triforce out of 5 earlier, so he's got to get 5 of them.
Yeah.
It kind of is low priority because you can do shorter dungeons to get them, but...
Yep. I can imagine not many people finishing these races are going to be digging level 7 for their Triforces, or level 8. These longer dungeons are just, unless they're right early on the ground, not going to be...
Speaking of level 7, there's our first one found in the Green Forest.
What's that? I missed it. Right there, vanilla level 2. Thank you, Tracker.
Hi, Gliak, how you doing? 4-headed with no sword doesn't go very well. Oh, armed with a couple of keys, Chessjerk has come back to level 1. It's, of course, one of the shortest dungeons and has 2 items, so
it has
very high word-to-room ratio.
Breakfast room here. Pancakes, eggs.
And Paul's voice? Maybe they didn't clean the kitchen very well.
Or maybe they just invited the next door neighbor, who happens to be a bunny rabbit, over for breakfast.
Ordered with another key, that'll help continue your exploration efforts. Kadogo, meanwhile, has found his way up to the northeast. Finally has a chance to see what he's been looking for. Hopefully he gets something worthwhile.
Yeah, breath of relief. We got some meat keys.
Gonna buy a key. Oh, he's gonna take the shield.
Ah.
I don't argue with that play at all. You've got to play with the tools you need, not necessarily what other people do. So, if your gameplay improves by having the magic shield, by all means grab it.
Yeah, we all can't be Crystal Saber and run this game blindfolded.
There's the magic sword. Kadogo's like, hey, I need a sword. Well, why can't you give me this one?
Fred has not been that kind.
Ah, those bomb prices, almost max. 38 rupees to get you a pack.
Right, so you're gonna wanna know your drop tables.
Well, even if you do, there's the book.
There's the book.
Floor drop in level 1 turns out to be the book. Now Chessjerk is able to understand hints.
Does the hint flag also work with the boomstick flag, so the book could be twice as valuable? You know?
I would assume it would, because there'd be nothing prohibiting it. I mean, obviously it still works with the fire and normal seeds. I don't know that anybody has tried that particular combination as of yet.
Yeah, you just don't often see people picking up the book and non-boomstick seeds. Haven't played around with that one too much. Kadogo with the white sword.
Well, there you go. That's the first hint that pays off. Tells us level 2 is going to have the white sword.
Got the book here.
Which actually means you might not dig the item.
Yeah.
Hey, Goma, how's things?
Blocking a shutter door. Oh, he's got the any key.
The good news about seeing that is, even if this hadn't been the... Well, if that could be the bow because he's not blocking it, but if that had not been the item, then you knew the bow couldn't be in 1. So that was probably the end of his level 1 ventures either way.
Kadogo is grabbing his first heart container. Really close to that wood sword. Just make it down to that bottom southwest corner.
What I'm worried about for him is not having bombs, and I know that deters me from going to that location.
Yep. He's found the Takeney roads.
A little exploration, and he can get right back to where he was anyways. Death Mountain's not a nice place to be without bombs, but good to find the road there.
So where's Chessjerk headed?
Well, this could work out for him. There's a couple open caves here, so he's thinking, I've got Armos spot here.
Pick up the nanner? Oh, he skipped the Armos.
They started right to left, and now he sees it.
I think he wants it.
What do we have? Acromentus with the magic key. Thanks, game.
Too little, too late.
I'm sure that was pretty much Chessjerk's reaction when he got that hint. Thanks, game. Did we see any other hints, or was that the only one he bought?
That is it, other than the Dodongo dwelling with the white sword, which we found in level 1. Here we go, sail not to save the princess.
Raft not required. So he's resetting that he can buy the hints one at a time. But now he doesn't screen scroll back. Maybe he is just buying the 2.
Dogo is headed up towards, is that level 5?
Chat saying the other hint was the heart container. Okay, so that was the third one. That makes sense. So not a useful set of hints. They will be accurate hints. They just won't necessarily be helpful. They're truthful. That's the word I'm looking for.
Old men are not lying today. That will be in the next round of play.
Kadogo is looking through level 5. You can certainly understand where he's coming from. He hasn't been able to make progress anywhere else. Maybe I can find a staircase and find an item.
Yep, and we know the item is not too difficult to find, and it is silver arrows, so definitely want to go back in there.
Make progress without any kind of weapon.
Yep. Needs to get down to that southwest corner.
The any roads should take him back to the Lost Woods.
Chessjerk has found a couple secrets. He is up to 180 rupees. Burning down Candle Row.
Found the other hint shop. He can buy all of them, and he probably will.
Leok lurks with the recorder.
Leok
Thanks,
has the
game.
recorder again. Thanks, game.
Korea, the red ring.
Alright, so now you know a couple of levels that you don't need to dig out. Even the elimination is useful at this point.
Yeah, I think that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7 that we know the items for already. Not a bad place to start off. Just level 6, level 8, and level 9 hiding items. Chessjerk is in a very good position as Kadogo is headed up the Lost Hills.
Yeah, Kadogo finished looking in the northeast. Well, might have missed 2 of the bomb walls, but got the open caves, and now working towards the left has led him to Nullify, which is level 3 today. And that's an early Triforce. Let's not say easy Triforce, but it's early.
Yep. See how many hit points these Dark Nuts have rolled, but he doesn't have a sword to hit them with. They do not burn.
Wow, the rope's taking more than 2 hits with the candle. That is rude. We're really looking for 2 items right now. Aside from the 5 Triforces we need, we know we will need the bow, and you're typically going to need the ladder.
Yep. Well, once again, those could be in level 9. You might be able to find 5 Triforces before you're in need of a ladder or a bow.
Chessjerk now up to almost 200 rupees.
He knows, what was it, Manhandla threatens with the red ring, or was it Korea?
I believe it was Manhandla threatens.
He knows where a ring is. You think, he's one to buy the blue ring or not?
I am guessing he's looking mostly for bait, and with the magic key, might even be tempted to go ahead and pick up wood arrows. No, he's already got silver,
No,
so
he
we'll do
doesn't
that.
need the wood arrows. But, that money is pretty good, if he is in the need for bombs later on.
Yeah, they're expensive bombs, but I imagine the first thing that would be on his shopping list right now is the bait, just to make sure he doesn't have, just so he doesn't need it and not have it.
Yep. Never fun being trolled by a Grumble Grumble.
Well, sometimes it's a really fun message.
Might be fun as a viewer, but if you don't have the bait in your inventory... Oh, and
Did he
he's
just
not.
pass on buying it, though?
So, yeah.
Or did he already have it? I missed it.
No, I don't think he's purchased any bait yet.
I'd be really surprised not to buy it. I mean, you could try and buy it cheaper, but what are you going to save your money for at this point? So let's get some thank yous out of the way as we're just kind of continuing the exploration here. Randomania for hosting us today. Nora doing the restreaming. He's been on commentary and running in this tournament, so his help greatly appreciated. Our tracker today, Trunk Fox, greatly appreciated. Thank you all of you who are watching us this afternoon. I'm Trenton, and thank you to my co-commentator August for having me today.
Yeah, thank you in return. It's been fun so far, and yeah, this tournament is nothing but fun.
Coast item is the red candle.
Red candle. I really like playing with the red candle. If I can root it in, I'll pick it up.
Kadogo would certainly take it right now. Here we are, 20 minutes in, he's still stuck with the blue candle. And it's just not letting him kill much because of the HP situation.
Yep, it's been rolled plus or minus 2, and a lot of these enemies look like it's on the plus side.
Yeah, I mean, we saw ropes, one of the weakest enemies, and 2 hits of the blue candle was not enough to kill them. That's the kind of seed we're looking at.
Another large secret, Chessjerk.
His second, I believe.
Yep.
Could be wrong. It's happened this afternoon. Looks like maybe he's gonna scout the coast.
Looks like those Lionels are a little squishy, those red ones. 2 hits. He sees that red candle.
I'm a little surprised Chessjerk's picking up all the secrets being over 200 rupees.
Yeah, that is a good point.
But then again, there's just not a lot for him to buy at this point. He's already seen all the hints.
Yeah, but, you know, 200, 230... I start marking those rupee caves.
I mean, if you didn't have the magic key, there's a case to be made for picking up a couple just to make sure you've got that in the bank.
Kadogo up ping again. I think what he needs to do, he needs to find a nice screen with a blue enemy and farm for a bomb job.
Has there been anything he can kill with the candle that drops bombs? I haven't seen it as of yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen him.
Okay,
Nope,
there you go. 2 hits to get that guy. So you have to catch him on a non-bounce.
I just keep up Aing and killing that blue octo until he gives me some bombs. 1, 2, up, up.
Yeah, at some point you just gotta go to that southwest cave. I think at this point it's the only place he hasn't been.
Chessjerk finding level 7. A little better equipped than when Kadogo found it.
Question in chat about no Triforces so far. Chessjerk has primarily been taking items out of the dungeons and then just leaving because the Triforces weren't there. He knows he can come back for them, so he's mainly looking for those items right now. We've been rewarded with the silver arrows.
He also
No
has
ladder, no
whistle.
bow.
So if he does pick up a Triforce somewhere, that gives him a little, you know, a little more leeway in his overworld routing. Taking on this Gliok.
4-headed Gliok, no fun, but at least it's an open room that makes navigating it a little easier.
I think it might be on a little less than vanilla.
The other thing, it's a Y force, but that works out.
There we go.
26 minutes to get our first Triforce. I was going to say the biggest thing to know about that Gliok flight, if you don't already, is there's only going to be one fireball at any time.
Yep, and something I learned on Redbird grad stream many weeks ago is that if you pull the ladder out, if it happens to be in a water room, if you pull the ladder out on the exact frame before the Gliok shoots his fireball, there's too many sprites on the screen, so Gliok will stop shooting fireballs.
Redbird Grad is a great one to watch to learn the game. He's streaming it all the time and very happy to explain things to people, so if you're new to it, he's a good one to follow. So are these runners.
Yes,
Chessjerk, one of the veterans. I still don't think he's picked up the bait. He's on max money, and I don't think he's picked up the bait.
It's a
you know what?
financial
There
advisor.
is one thing. There is one thing he could spend that money on. I didn't think of it till now. The bomb upgrades.
Ah, touche. Got Kadogo finding his piece of paper. I think I did see Chessjerk purchase a potion. He's jumping into level 8 here. Finds an early compass.
The compass is great, even though the shape of the dungeon is vanilla, so this map is completely worthless to us. The compass still tells you where the Triforce is, because that could be at any point in the dungeon.
Here's something I'd like to see added someday. The compass tells you where the staircases are.
Well, Kadogo's, they're a great place to find bombs if you can get back to them fast enough. There we go.
You also need a sword. Or does a wand... Yeah, I suppose the wand does work too.
I don't know. I can't say I've ever tried that particularly.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it does work. You just have to be quick with your select swap or, pause and, take a little bit of time.
Blue whiz robes in this dungeon. In that room, not such a big deal. In another room, like, say, this one, maybe a little bit bigger.
Oh, Kadogo winds up in here. He will be praising his purchase of that large shield.
As long as you don't lose it to the pancakes.
This has got to be at least the third dungeon, just covered with these pulse voice.
Not a bow to be had.
Not yet.
Chessjerk can kill this one, but all you had to do was walk out of the room.
Yikes.
I don't know why he's killing the Dig Dugger anyways, because he does this on Triforce, and this is 8, so there's no floor drop. I guess it could be heart containers, so that could be a thing.
Yep, maybe he's looking for that White Sword Cave, which we still have not found yet, have we?
Now, we've not located the White Sword item. We found the Magic Sword, of course. I think at this point it'd have to be hiding up on Death Mountain, maybe like the forgotten spot.
Yep, or, it could also be that raft spot, that Sail Not to Save the Princess. Might include that the White Sword item isn't needed.
Question in chat, is Z1R worth picking up? Well, this is a biased crowd, but we're all gonna say yes. There's a lot of fun to be. It's the ladder!
Nope. He needs that last heart piece.
Max cost, but we have found the ladder. Well, that'll work out.
Bingo.
One screen away, he gets the heart container he needs to pick up the ladder.
And I'm sure after this he'll do a little screen scroll right over to vanilla level 5 and find level 3.
So you can leave it vanilla if you wanted to, but in this case it's going to be 4 to 6 hearts to get the White Sword item, which is what we know the ladder was there. So we knew as soon as he couldn't get it, he only needed one more. You're just not very forgiving for Kadogo.
Ooh, level 9, here we go.
Always good to know where that is, even if you're not going to need it for a while.
And it also happens to be right on top of that Takeny Road. Chessjerk is about to find level 3.
I think it's a little surprising maybe that he hasn't picked up more Triforces at this point, but I think progress has been his major theme. He's looking for the items he needs to complete the game, and at this point we know we're looking for the bow, and I think we've narrowed it down to 3 dungeons.
Yeah, I think the ladder has actually been blocking him out of a lot of the Triforce exploration that he's going to be doing. But not here in level 3, he just needs to find a way to take down those red dark nuts.
Kadogo's able to get another heart container. 2 hits of the flame is not enough to kill. He just can't get bombs today.
One of these blocks here. Nope. Just gonna tank on through with those 6 hearts.
Adam West one day said, some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. Kadogo is saying some days you just can't get a bomb.
He is headed in the southwestern direction, though.
I think he's pretty well narrowed this down. Aside from bomb locations, that's about the only place he can go. I don't know that he fully explored Death Mountain, the open locations that are there.
Spots.
But
Such as
as somebody
no.
who I feel a lot of empathy for him here. He did. I said it when we first saw the wood sword there that I don't like coming to this area if I don't have a bomb. I think Kadogo was thinking the same thing. So when you're in
I
that
never chalk it
position,
up.
this location just haunts you. Chessjerk
I've
took the blue
seen too
ring.
many runners haunted by this same location where I'm even close to the area. Never pass down. Oh, we had a blue ring purchase on Chessjerk's side.
I was listening to TGE and Krim earlier say, you know what? If I knew that the next item I was going to get would be the red ring, I'd buy the blue ring every time. So, if the blue ring lets you get through these dungeons faster, may as well get it.
Yep.
There's no time penalty for getting the blue ring.
Yeah, I always like the color of it too. Like in Smash Brothers 64, was it the first time that it's kind of you have the choice to put Link in that color again. I think it suits him well.
Oh, Chessjerk gets the Triforce out of level 1. So yeah, that was a ladder blocked Triforce for sure. Now all of a sudden he's got 3 Triforces.
So level 1 is cleared. Found the book. He found... what's the second item in level 1? Any key. Book and any key.
Very good point in chat, and I want to highlight this. It was Captain Green who mentioned this. He bought the hint that said the red ring was in 7. He's already got the Triforce in level 7. So when you put those 2 pieces of information together, you're not going back to 7 for the red ring if you can just buy the blue ring. So he gets the defense, knowing he's not getting the red ring.
Yep.
And that makes a lot of sense.
Level 5, he needs 1 more Triforce, but he still needs to find that bow.
Well, we said earlier there's only a couple dungeons that it could be in, and there's a lot of there's a lot of arguments on the side of the meta of Dig 9.
Yeah, at this point, would you dig 9? You've seen all but 6, 8, and 9. You know,
if I find 8, I'm gonna dig it for the 2 items and the last Triforce that I need. If I don't find 8 or a dungeon where I need to explore, if I don't have the hint for it, if I don't know the item, I'll dig for the item and the Triforce. Because then I'm accomplishing 2 things. If not, I'll go to level 9 because I've got 2 things.
Sisters on the Coast.
Plus find the path to Ganon and Zelda. At least that's my reasoning for now. Level 6 on Chessjerk.
Level 6? I'm a little surprised he isn't down digging level 4. But I wonder if
we have a hint for
bow
4?
blocked. Well, he just needs the 1 more Triforce, right?
Yes, but if he doesn't have the hint, if he has a hint for 4 and not for 6, it'd make more sense to go 6 and look for the item 2.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. It's good strategy.
At least in my humble opinion.
Yep. No, I like that strategy. It's a good point. I think he pulled the recorder out of 4 pretty early, and it's right next to start. So.
It's never bad to have a fallback plan, but...
Finds compass.
6 being one of the larger dungeons, it's not ideal to try and dig it out, but you know what? If you find it easy, then you find it easy.
Picked up his wood sword. He's got almost full bombs. He's I think
There's also an easy enemy set in this 6. I mean, yeah, there's blue dark nuts out there, but I think this is an enemy set that really justifies going ahead and looking here when you've got no whiz ropes.
Yeah, and Chessjerk is passing up that Triforce, and he's digging for that item.
Could it be?
Stalfos guards.
The wand.
Magic wand.
Alright, it's not bad, but the other big thing it does I think it completely justifies going 9.
Yep, and level 8 is not too far away, so find 1 or 2 items in 9, you can always hop over a few screens and jump into 8. So with that, at almost 39 minutes in, we know almost all the item locations.
Why don't you go ahead and give us a recap of what we know?
Alright, let's see if I can do this. In level 1 we found the book and the any key. Level 2 has the white sword. Level 3 has the magic boomerang, I believe. Level 4 had the recorder. Level 5 the silver arrows. Level 6 just had the magical wand. Level 7 has the red ring. Our most item was the Lord Banana. The coast item was the red ring, or the red candle. And the white sword item was the ladder. So that leaves the power bracelet, the raft, magic boomerang, and the coast heart.
So we also hope know by hint one of the items for 8 is the heart container.
All right.
And that makes 8 less attractive because it's a lot of rooms to dig for just one item.
Definitely. Although it does look like that's where Chessjerk is headed.
Well, very interesting. Aquamentus waits with the book. Thanks, game.
Be curious to ask Chessjerk about this play at the end of this.
He was in this dungeon before, obviously, so I don't know how many rooms he got to, but maybe if he knew he was just ladder blocked from something, he's thinking, hey, I can check it pretty quickly. Because it's not so much how big the dungeon is, it's how much work do I have to do to explore to what I need. So even a long dungeon, if you only have 4 or 5 rooms unexplored, that's not that many.
Good points. See Kadogo over in the grave. I think he's headed over to level 5.
And some days there's Wizrobes.
No, he is passing 5. He's doing some bombing over here on Death Mountain.
Free Triforce. Yours for the taking. But he doesn't need it, of course. But it'd be the fastest way out of the dungeon with full health. And this could be it. He gets the heart container. He passes on the heart container. I don't know why he passed on the heart container, actually. I know it's not what you're looking for, but...
Takes a few seconds to get down there and back up.
I think the trade-off is worthwhile on that, if you've already gone that far.
Especially with some blue land molas in the next room.
The thing about it is, with Blue Ring, it's double health, so it's not going to add a Hyrule driver to your life, but it'll add a fireball. And I think now is the time to, well, check the one room, okay, any key.
I think these are the silver arrows for Kadogo.
That's going to be a very welcome sight.
Bunnies.
Progress has been slow coming for him.
Yep.
Finally to see something that feels like you're on the right direction. There's the bow.
Chessjerk makes the right play. No digging level 9 for him.
Now, Kadogo may not be familiar or practiced with block clipping, so this is going to be a really evil room to get through. A lot of hits.
Even a practiced block clipper will tell you that Pole's voice can be quite the trolls. Oh,
Yeah, they're one of those enemies where the movement's kind of random. It's a little hard to predict. That is always going to make them a tough enemy to block clip around.
Yep. Pole's voice, Tektites, blue is robes.
Or Lionel's, where all they have to do is turn and shoot.
Alright, staircase number 1. Just to transport. Do you have audio up, just by any chance?
Yes, we've got Chessjerk's audio on stream.
Alright, I have that muted for mic purposes, so if you hear any squealing, be sure to let us know.
Alright, so of course we have two things to find in level 9, because we've already got the silvers. Hey, there's the raft, but we know it's sail not to save the princess. There's the silvers for Kadogo. Very welcome sight. So Kadogo, it took almost 34 minutes to get the wood sword in this one. It just was unfortunate because of the placement. But then all of a sudden, it only took 10 minutes to get the silver arrows after that.
Yep. I think he went east, Chessjerk started west. I think this seed west was the play to make.
It was such a difference. Just that southwest location, it's so annoying to go to if you don't have a bomb, because then you know you're going back there again at some point. Probably. In 9, we're looking for Ganon, we're looking for Zelda. Zelda will be behind a single shutter door, like possibly the room we just went through. If it doesn't open after you've killed the enemies, you know you found Zelda. The compass will tell you where Zelda is. Ganon will be accessible in some form or fashion, but you will hear his roar from any adjacent room. Apparently I talked over it because Nora says we hear him. I think we're hearing him in the blue Darknut room, which is why Chessjerk tried to bomb that wall. Yep, that's where he's trying to get. But the path isn't forthcoming. Thanks, game. 3 possible hints in level 9. It can tell you that the silvers are here or elsewhere. It can tell you where the kidnapped is. It can tell you where the beast is.
It can also tell you where the compass is. Enemies.
That's right. 4 hints for 3 locations. You are absolutely correct.
But it will only be 3 out of those 4. It's never going to be all 4 of those hints.
And it can also be reduced by the choose any.
Oh yeah.
Or not choose any, leave your, whatever we're calling that. So Chessjerk has located Ganon's room, but not able to find the path so far. What kind of room are we dealing with down there?
He doesn't know this, but he's quite the lead, but I'm sure in his mind it's still a race and he's not leaving anything to chance, and he wants to get through this as quick as possible.
I mean, anytime you're running, it's easy to nitpick yourself. It's easy to say, well, it took me so long to get Triforces. I didn't get a Triforce till 26 minutes in. What if things went better for the other guy? You don't know.
Yep. Not until the fat lady's singing. In this case, the fat piggy.
What you do know is that this is not the nicest room to fight Ganon in. We got the stun lock. Looks like it. It's a lot of hits with the wood sword, but Chessjerk seems to have the lock on. Doing a double tap strategy to get his timing. That's interesting, but Ganon slipped a little bit. He just caught him on the next frame.
Yeah, I notice some people have a couple different strats.
So Ganon falls 48 minutes in approximately. Still gotta find the princess. There's her room. She's not in it.
Nope. Not if it's a bomb hole into it.
Question in chat, are there some rooms Fred doesn't allow Ganon in? That wouldn't surprise me, but I don't know offhand what the rule set on that would be. Like, I'm pretty sure he's not allowed to be in a staircase room.
Yep.
And I'm
That's right.
guessing something like maze rooms where the blocks are just everywhere and you can't navigate.
Exactly.
'Cause I've never seen him be in one of those.
That would be very trolly. But you never know what that Madman Fred might put in the next update. You know, it took quite a bit of beta testing and people running the shuffled start screen for the dungeons. So, quite a bit of back and forth.
Okay, fair point in chat when we're discussing the rooms he can't be in. He can't be in the same room as the old man or Zelda.
There you go.
He's gonna be in his own room. But I think any of the rooms that would really choke navigation, it's kind of been restricted so that you don't have that.
Sanity checks.
Yeah. We do want to actually be able to beat these.
Maybe a little bit of mercy.
If you want to see the opposite of mercy, though, check out the one-hit KO race tonight.
Yep, I will be commentating that with Liquid Husband.
Oh boy, have fun.
Yep.
Do we have an over-under guess prediction pool on the death count?
Oh, okay, I thought you were going to say the time. I have no idea the death count. A couple hundred?
Question in chat, what is the one-hit KO race? Exactly what it sounds like. You take a hit, you're dead.
Yep, you're dead.
Like, I think the only thing that doesn't kill you is the bubbles. And I'm iffy on that. I'm not positive.
Got Dogo in level 6 here. He's found the Triforce. Digging for that item. And I believe it was the wand. Yep, I think that's right here, guarded by the Stalfos.
That is going to be
Progress.
such a welcome sight.
Yep, absolutely. Doubles his offensive capabilities.
Unlimited range weapon as well, so I'd even... Honestly, obviously, in terms of a hit, yes, you're correct, it doubles. But in value, I'd say the intangibles, it's more than double.
Oh yeah, Magic Wand. Very useful item.
Also, what it can do for you against Patras is fantastic. You can dual wield the wand and sword and be killing Patra that much faster. The thing about having the book, though, is then you've got fire to deal with as well.
Yeah, I don't think he's picked up the book yet. It'd be a curious play to, you know, to see an early wand pickup. Have the book drop early, but, you know, someone might say, oh, but that's gonna significantly decrease the value of my magic wand.
Even then, if you're using the wand well, the range is worthwhile. I mean, here you see Chessjerk using it against Darknuts well. So,
Yep.
a little practice with that. It's a penalty, but it's not as bad as I think the original meta was of the book.
Yep. If I was in that room, I would be burnt to a crisp.
The flag set really was designed to help make good use of the book. And I think it does that so well because you're not full clearing all the dungeons. So as soon as you're not going to every dungeon anyways, the value of the hints goes up tremendously in my opinion.
Princess Zelda, where are you?
So again, Chessjerk is looking for either the compass or a shutter door that now automatically opens even when there's enemies in the room. So it makes a lot of sense to just tear through a 9 at the fastest pace he can, Ignore every enemy that you can. Find the compass on the ground, great, but cover as much ground as you can, as fast as you can, until you find that door that opens. Hi, Patra.
Very vertical routing right now.
When you're searching for Ganon, it can make sense to take a sort of diagonal path to try and pick up as many rooms as possible adjacent to you. When you're looking for Zelda, you really can't afford to leave rooms behind.
Yep. Very good at hide and seek.
Reigning champion of Hyrule. 30 years running.
Kadogo has picked up his first Triforce. Level 6.
Great to see. He's definitely been able to make
compass.
progress as soon as he got the sword.
Princess Zelda in the northwest corner.
Oh, that compass is so nice. Did Patra drop it?
Patra did indeed drop the compass.
How about that? He'd have never killed that Patra unless he thought he needed to go back through that shutter door.
Yeah, that's I think the second or third time he's chosen well, which tough enemy to dig. Is why forced by that four-headed Gleeok. Patra guards the compass in 9. Making the right calls.
Yeah, this has not been the worst enemy set in the 9 either. The Patra placement can be a little trolly, but when you're getting these guys instead of, say, Wizrobes, it's a very welcome sight.
Yeah, Moldorms are land mola on, maybe a little sleepy. Similar body types, but definitely very less aggressive. South,
I like
west.
the exploration he's taken before checking that staircase, because you're so close. If there's a way that just the bomb wall doesn't work, you've always got the staircases as fallback. There it is.
Yep.
He's just got to get there.
Go.
You got a potion. He's got this thing.
Yep.
Just a question of time now.
56.
The fires don't stand a chance. GG. Chat, let's hear it for Chessjerk.
Congratulations.
The princess. The kidnapped is saved. Sub-hour time, 56:08 on the SRL timer. Chessjerk, our winner. And hopefully we will be able to get a word with Chessjerk very shortly here. Kind of run through Chessjerk's seed as it went. First thing he got was the blue candle. He was able to get the wood sword less than 5 minutes in, which was a huge difference. Grabbed the boomerang as the armless item. Was able to find the silver arrows was his first pickup for many of the dungeons. Got the recorder, the book, the magic key, all that sub 20 minutes. It took 26 minutes to get the first Triforce actually, but then they came in quick succession once he had the ladder. 2 minutes after the ladder, he gets the Triforce out of level 3, follows it up within 5 minutes out of level 1, also level 5, stopped to pick up a blue ring throughout all that. 43 minutes in, he found the bow, and then it was just a race there. 5 minutes later, he kills Ganon. Took about another 5 minutes, actually more than that, more like 6 minutes to get to Zelda after he had downed Ganon.
I think this is where the White Sword Cave was. Kadogo's about to pick up the ladder up here. It'll be a very welcome sight.
Yeah, and Kadogo's side, he got that early blue candle, now he's got the ladder. That should help make some progress. Wasn't able to get a Triforce until 54 minutes in. Definitely a disadvantage without that sword, and it took a long time to find. Now he's starting to get the items together he needs. And has a lot of exploration of the world, so I think he's going to be able to get into some dungeons here pretty quickly.
Yep, he knows where most of these dungeons are. Level 2 still eludes us, but he should be picking up some Triforces here.
Chessjerk GG, and grats on the sub-hour.
Thank you very much. How are you doing?
Oh, we're doing well. That was a great routing choice at the beginning. It turned out to go to the west.
Yeah, it sure seemed like it paid off really well with the early find of level 1 and wood sword. That's always nice to find early on.
I also made a pretty good call out towards the end to go into level 8 and find that bow.
Well, at that point, luckily with the book and the hints, I was down to level 8 or level 9 for the bow. Those were my only options left. So that made it, without the hints, I would have been digging, let me see, what else would I have dug? Probably 2, if I had ever found 2, and 3, which luckily I didn't have to dig. So that would definitely, the hint saved me a lot of exploration time.
Well, speaking of good decisions, this one kind of slipped by me your rationale at the time till chat pointed it out. But when you purchased the blue ring, you already had the hint for the red ring, so I guess you knew you weren't going back to that level.
If you can avoid digging level 7, you do it. I found the early Tringle in level 7 and decided I ain't digging 33 rooms of torture for a red ring if I can buy blue ring.
So exactly where Kadogo is right now.
Yeah, he has not seen any of the hints. He does not have the book either, so it won't do him any good. But he's not seen the hints to know the item here.
I believe the book was guarded by some blue wizrobes and legs, if I remember, in level 1. I think that's where the book was.
So a very nice level 1 there. Book, any key.
Oh yeah, it definitely paid off very well. I'm assuming level 2 is in the Death Mountain, or it's Power Bracelet blocked.
Your guess is as good as ours. It still remains a mystery.
It was a long level 9 to find Zelda. How happy were you that Patro dropped the compass?
Oh, you have no idea how relieved I was. I was getting frustrated for a second there, right? I killed the right Patro, luckily. Although I guess looking at my 9 map, the only section I had left was the northwest, so I would have headed that way anyway, but knowing that she was up there was a big relief.
That Blinking Light is a very, very pleasant picture to see. You got some not pleasant pictures, more Pole's voice here, Kadogo's side, in level 7. Taking a whack at them.
You've been through all this with the Swiss rounds before. Does anything really change for you between the rounds as you get ready to head to the 1-0 bracket?
Not really. I mean, it's not knowing. I mean, obviously, not right now, not knowing who I'm matched up against. Although no matter who I'm matched up against, it really doesn't matter a whole lot because you just got to play your game and hopefully you make the right guesses. Because being a randomizer, if you take one wrong turn, you could be spending a lot of time doing things that aren't necessary.
Very, very true.
I couldn't believe the 4-headed Gliok had the Triforce in level 7 though. That was an interesting reward for fighting him with 3 hearts, wood sword. That paid off.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me. Any other thoughts on this one?
No, everything pretty much came together pretty well. I mean, once the 6-heart ladder was found, that definitely made 2 Tringle pickups and 1 and 5 very easy. And it was just a matter of finding the bow, and once that was found, it was for Zelda hunt. Pretty standard, really.
And it looks like this is going to be about it for us. Kadogo has decided not to continue. It's just been a rough one for him. This was his first SRL race, so he put up a good effort. It took a lot to get started in this one, and I don't want to undervalue his effort at all.
Absolutely not. It was a good race. It was fun to watch. At least on my end. I hope everyone out there enjoyed watching and enjoyed racing.
I'm not sure if he's gonna join us for any words. We'll give him the chance to before we cut out, of course. It says he will, so hopefully we'll get a few comments here.
Yep.
And for
I'd
all
like
of
to
you who have joined us
reiterate,
today, hope you've enjoyed the race.
yeah, I'd like to reiterate that thanks that you gave earlier, Trin. Thanks to the runners, the restreamer, the tracker. Thanks to all the viewers out there. Thanks to Fred Coughlin for making this crazy thing.
And thanks to you two for commentating.
Always fun.